We are facing the highest unemployment in ever from the last 50 years. What use is of us churning out 1.5 million engineers every year who are unemployable? Every hour, 10 Indians are caught on the border of United States trying to illegally enter it. I was reading a report recently which says that if we do not, because of the lack of skill sets, companies throughout the world will lose close to around $8.5 trillion by 2030. I'm positioning Karnataka as the skill capital of the world and the knowledge destination for the world. Everybody by default saves close to around 8,000 rupees a month. If the lady is smart enough, or the household is smart enough, they save up to 12 to 14,000 a month. Where is this money going? They're going to temples only.
And in any case, if they get jobs and if L&T chairman Subramanian has a way, then they have to work for God knows how many hours.
No, you just can't blame those two gentlemen. Even the Prime Minister says they work 18 hours a day. People criticize saying that these 5 guarantees that we do, that we give out is a revdi or it is a burden on the exchequer. Unfortunately, when they do it, it's master stroke. Only when we do it, it's a revdi or a freebie.
You have already been introduced. We have from morning lot of sessions, some very brilliant, interesting sessions, lot of discussions on Upanishad and Gita and history. Now we are coming down to the brass tacks, trying to, and of course, how to tackle mental health in while studying IIT, IIMs. Now we are coming to the brass tacks in discussing one of the key issues involving our young generation, which is jobs. How to kickstart jobs. And for the Congress party and your government, when you went into the elections, assembly elections, that was one of the cornerstone of the key campaign area, campaign thrust, if we can call it. In the last 18 months, let me ask you, since you are the ITBT minister, you are the electronics minister, sectors which generate job, particularly in your state, Karnataka and Bangalore. What has been done in the last 18 months on your main campaign plank, which is job creation?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me over. And I think after a session like Anirudh's, I'm not sure how many people will be ready to listen to me. But anyway, like you said, right from history, we are diving right into the future. And well, the question that you have posed to me is extremely tough to answer because we are working on multiple fronts to ensure that we provide as much employment as possible. So in the last 18 months, we have taken a 3-pronged approach for the government to ensure that our youth are in a better position to be employed. Firstly, we had promised, one of our biggest promises was that we will fill in all the 2.5 lakh posts within the government. And for that, we have taken necessary steps. In fact, in my own department, we have already close to around 1,400 people have been recruited in the form of junior engineers, assistant engineers, and other designations.
This is from the Rural Development Panchayat
RDPR,
Raj.
yes. And the other strategy that we are using is, of course, the Yuvanidhi. You know, that was one of our 5 guarantees, where we are helping youth to stay afloat after their graduation till they find a job by giving them some incentives. So 3,000 rupees for a graduate and 2,000 rupees for 1,500 rupees for a diploma holder, just so that for the next till they are employable or till they find employment, this sort of dole will help them out to put put applications, help them understand things better during that time. And the third strategy is that as a government, it's our prime responsibility to create a conducive environment for employment. So we understand that creating or giving employment is extremely difficult, but to ensure that nothing stops us to ensure that the Karnataka human resource is the most employable human resource in the world. So we have come up with a committee, a skill advisory committee for emerging technologies. We are giving greater thrust to GTTCs and ITIs. We are giving greater thrust to ensuring that we have a great understanding of what the industry needs, and that is again in turn put past through the academia and also the corporates, so that we have this network, or we have formed a proper working wireframe for us to ensure that the youth of Karnataka are employable. So we have the Skill Development Minister working with it. We have the Higher Education Ministry working towards it. We have the Industry Minister working towards it, and the Ministry for IT, BT, and electronics as well. So we have also come up with a program called Nipuna Karnataka, which is probably India's biggest skilling, upskilling, and reskilling program I think even in the world. So the idea is very clear. The tagline says, skill locally, work globally. So we are no longer catering to the ecosystem just in Karnataka, but we are catering to a global ecosystem for the workforce.
But that brings us to three direct questions. First, you are a minister in Karnataka, and Bangalore, which is known to be the IT hub. There are other centers which have subsequently come up in India. Hyderabad is also doing quite well. Tamil Nadu, etc. have come up, but that was the original Biocon also. But now you are saying creation of job is not a very easy thing, okay? And you have been rolling out doles to accommodate the youth. So what happens to the population dividend that we were talking about, which was supposed to have spurred growth and give us an advantage?
We have a demography, there is no doubt. We have the demography dividend, we have the demography advantage, there is no doubt about that. But what use is of us churning out 1.5 million engineers every year who are unemployable? Or hardly 22% of them are employable in the current status. I was reading a report recently which says that if we do not, because of the lack of skill sets, companies throughout the world will lose close to around $8.5 trillion by 2030. European Union suggests that 44% of them are unemployable with their current skill sets. So the idea is to make them more employable, to work across sectors, to work across verticals, to work across geographies. And that's what the government of Karnataka intends to do and is doing. So we identify the skill sets along with the industry. It's something that we are dreaming about it, or we are saying that, okay, let us take the policy in this direction. We are sitting with the industry. We are understanding where they are headed, whether it is cybersecurity, whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's machine learning, whether it's manufacturing. We have created centers of excellence. The government of Karnataka runs 27 centers of excellence, right from agriculture to aerospace, right from deep space to artificial intelligence. We have policies backing it, right from space tech policy, defense, deftronics policy, IT policy, BT policy, startup policy, engineering, research and development policy. We also have a global capability center policy. So we are building a very strong foundation of education, knowledge, skill sets, incubation center, backed up with policies which will ensure research, development, and innovations. So this will create jobs. It will not happen overnight. It cannot happen overnight. But we are going to ensure that we are future ready.
So is it only for the locals? As as the slogan has been for Karnataka for Kannadigas, or is it for India? You represent a national party, but your slogan has been very local. Whether it is upskilling or setting up
I know where this is
institutional basis.
I know where this is headed. Although I'm from a national party, unfortunately I'm a local minister. So if you want this to be spread across India, ensure that Congress comes next time. And ensure that I become the IT minister there. And I will ensure that not only Kannadigas, but all Indians will be skilled for global competition. Right now, my mandate as the Minister for Karnataka is to ensure that I skill Kannadigas. I'll be more than happy to skill Tamilians also. I have no issues with that. But also, having said that, look at who is coming to Karnataka now. Who's coming to Tamil Nadu now? Who's come to Maharashtra? Who's coming to Telangana? Migration is so huge. I don't think it is, the government policies are there. Of course, state government policies there are for that particular state. But when you come to Karnataka and you go to, I'm sure Mr. Kalapa will agree with me, if you go to parts of Whitefield, it's like Gurgaon. They speak only Hindi. If you come to certain parts of Bengaluru, you will find only Tamilians. Tamil movies run 100 days, sir, in Karnataka. So we are creating an ecosystem. We are creating an ecosystem for India to thrive. When Tamil Nadu comes up with a manufacturing policy, it's just not for Tamilians. People come work for everywhere. When Bangalore, when Karnataka has created the Global Capability Center policy, it works well for Karnataka, but nothing stops you from coming and working in Karnataka. So, coming back to your original question, ensure that Congress comes back to power, we will ensure all Indians are employable.
I will ask a quick associated question, then Bansi's Bansi can take over. The other thing is that, is it because that, job creation and upskilling, you are putting it back on the employability of the youth? So is it because that, consecutive governments have not been able to push the IT sector beyond Bangalore too much? There is Bangalore, where I have traveled, there are nth number of young people who would want to stay there. They don't want to migrate. They're just looking for the right job there. There's Mysore, which has not really happened. Whitefield is a small example, or the Electronic City 1 and 2 are the small sort of satellite cities at the most that has been created, but it has not spread.
Oh, well, I slightly differ from you on this one. Of course, Bengaluru is the answer, and jobs is it is not, this problem of employment is not limited to Karnataka. It's there in Canada, it's there in US. You heard what the President of the United States recently said, only competent people will be allowed into the country. What is the definition of competence? The definition of competence, according to me, is employability. Skilled, highly skilled, precision skilled. And I think that's what we need to do. And your second question of us building ecosystems beyond Bangalore, it's always a work in progress, and we have done phenomenally well. I think if you look at the STPI data, this year, Mysuru has churned out more than 5,000 crores in IT exports. Mangaluru has churned out more than, the Mangaluru cluster has churned out more than 3,000, 4,000 crores. The Hubli Belgavi cluster has churned out more than 2,000 crores. Of course, compared to the entire IT exports of Karnataka, which is around 4.5 lakh crores, these are just 10%, 5% of this entire thing. But it's always a work in progress. And we have a very strong beyond Bengaluru policy, where we do not give any incentives or subsidies for companies coming and investing in Bangalore. We are giving incentives and subsidies for people going outside Bengaluru. You'll be quite surprised. My Hubli, Belgavi, Dharwad cluster, which is considered one of the rural areas, has more than 500 startups registered with me. The Mangaluru cluster has more than 438 startups. The Mysuru cluster has got more than 600 startups. NTT recently bought 2 companies that are outside Udupi, startups that are outside Udupi. We run GCCs.
How much of all that, the startups focus on the rural area? It was raised in one of the discussions, previous discussions, that do we address our startup or our policy connect the economic growth or the fruits of these new ideas to rural India, the rural belt, or is it all part of a sort of urbanization or come towards the urban center only?
It's a mix of
How
both.
much of the startup application is?
See, I think it's a mix of both. If you, what started, let's say Swiggy started in a cosmopolitan or a metropolitan like Bengaluru, but in my hometown of Kalburgi, Swiggy is there now. We have some ONDC platform like Namma Yatri where that is in Kalburgi now. I'm not talking about Bengaluru, Mysuru, Mangaluru. I'm talking about Kalburgi, where these platforms are coming up. Yes, the transition takes time. It will eventually evolve. But like you said, the playground is these urban sectors. The playground is where the catchment area is, purchasing power is, where the aspirational life is. There is no denying that. But yes, as a government, we need to constantly keep pushing corporates, industries outside the core anchor area. I mean, I get a lot of this when people keep saying that the focus is heavily on Bengaluru and stuff. Yes, the focus is on Bengaluru because that's the anchor everybody knows. But when we tell, how many of them know 10 cities of England over here? Not many. Maximum, they will know, first of course is London. Next probably because a lot of kith and kin might be living in Birmingham. Wimbledon, of course. After that, after 4 or 5, you... Manchester, whatever. You start thinking after 5. And even now, what is Greater London? London is actually the original London is very small. Greater London is beyond Heathrow. What is New York now? New York is very small. The New York state goes across islands. So it's always a constant thing of prosperity, increasing the geographical boundaries, and using that as an anchor, we push them to Belgavi, we push them to Koppal, we push them to Mysuru, we push them to Mangaluru, we push them to Hubli. We have a very robust EV and aviation sector that is happening in Belgavi. We have flat floor factories coming across the state. We have nano GCC concepts, plug and play concepts that are coming across the state. Yes, constant work in progress, but we have to keep we have to keep pushing.
Okay, Bansi. By the way, Southampton is a place where a lot of young Indians are going and doing work.
We are all over the place.
So it's kind of...
And also, one important thing is nowadays there's a lot of following in the urban centers for, the United Kingdom's football leagues. So they have so many fans out here. It's amazing. Because the next generation, what we have, they're very highly following football. So many of them know these UK teams by their, club names. Okay, so talking of the Congress manifesto, you spoke of 1 crore jobs. So the Congress has been very aggressive in pushing the guarantees and leading from the front, of course. But how far, have you reached on this 1 crore job desire?
See, that's our goal. We are, these things need to be bucketed well. So at what level are we creating jobs? So there are close to around 300 million jobs right now in India that are up for grabs, but the skill sets are not matching. So this needs to be identified in every sector, and that's what we have done. It's taken us 6 months to do so. How many people are required with respect to cybersecurity? How many people are required in manufacturing? We are talking to, like I said earlier, we are talking to industries. When we say manufacturing, it's just not precision manufacturing, packaging, assembly line management. We are training people in something, whatever the corporates want, IQ, SQ, EQ. So there are various parameters that people fall short of, and we are ensuring that in each of these parameters that they come up to the average or above average level so that they become more employable. So like I said, in the next 5 years, our target has been that, and we've crossed a year, and we have done pretty well. If you look at the statistics or the data, the third-party statistics, or even the Government of India statistics, we are one of the biggest job generators in the country right now. Thanks to our policies, thanks to our ecosystem that we are driving, whether it's in manufacturing, whether it's in global capability centers, whether it's in innovations. I think we are fairly on track.
Okay. Karnataka is looking at organizing one of the biggest gyms, global investor meets. Now, until now, we have had the lull because of COVID and issues like that. But because of intrinsic challenges, how well do you think you will be able to satisfy your investor?
Oh, well, see, one thing is that we have to agree is that it's always difficult to get investments in India. We are fiercely competitive, states, as a state. As soon as I say, okay, I'm getting this, one of the Fortune 500 companies into manufacturing in Karnataka, and I'm going to give land at X rate, power tariffs at X rate, Y rate, immediately Tamil Nadu is going to beat me down to it. As soon as Tamil Nadu comes up with their proposal, Telangana is going to beat it down to it. And of course, Mr. Naidu is hyper-aggressive, so he is going to beat down everybody through it. So it's always fiercely competitive within India for investment. But what we are doing is, I've stopped, at least me and the industry minister and me have stopped positioning Karnataka as an investment destination. I'm very clear. I'm positioning Karnataka as the skill capital of the world and the knowledge destination for the world. We are going to focus heavily on skilling people, ensuring we have the best talent pool available for corporates to come here and do business. See, anybody can give you policies, anybody can give you incentives, anybody can give you subsidies. Subsidies can be matched, incentives can be surpassed, policies can be tweaked, but how will you develop human resource? How will you develop an ecosystem which has taken us decades? See, it's not just because you bring up a great policy that the investments don't come in. Today, if we are the fourth largest technology cluster in the world, if 65% of defense manufacturing happens in Karnataka, 52% of machine tool manufacturing happens here, if 4.5 billion electronic accessories are being exported, where 21% of the national bioeconomy is from my state, it took us 30 years to get where we are. We have built it with a strong foundation of over 250 engineering colleges, 70 medical colleges, 44 universities, both government and private. I run 1,777 ITIs and GTTCs. Show me any other state who's doing so much. Besides that, we are running 27 centers of excellence. We have something like Indian Institute of Science, we have C.V. Raman Institute, we have a Brain Research Institute, we have the NAL, HL, we have the ISRO. We have the IIIT, we have the IIT. This did not, NIMHANS, yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
NIMHANS, Kidwai, everything. This did not happen overnight. Thanks to people like you who built it 20 years back, 30 years back. And that is why we are here now. So if you are going to tell me just by giving out incentives, subsidies, ek acha policy nikal diya to ho jata hai, no. That is why we are positioning ourselves as the skill capital and the knowledge capital.
And still you are saying it is very difficult to create jobs. There is upskilling that is required. There is people have been put on dole, and you lose no opportunity to criticize your opponent who once promised to create 2 crore jobs in a year. So what do you have to say about that? And of course, we have a very young crowd, students here, university and college students. What would you like? You are, as part of a government, you are also a policy maker, right? So what is your message to the young people who are looking for jobs? What needs to be done?
See, firstly, as a government, or as any government or a person from the government, if you want to solve a problem, first you need to acknowledge there is a problem. I cannot say that the job loss is not a problem, unemployment. We are facing the highest unemployment in ever from the last 50 years. Data is saying that. You have editorials printed about that. That is a problem. I cannot say, no boss, there is no unemployment, everybody is happy, we are living in Amrit Kal, we are living in Vikshit Bharat. If that is the case, why are so many HNIs relinquishing their citizenship and going abroad? Why are every hour 10 Indians are caught on the border of United States trying to illegally enter it? Why is there so much of panic in the industry because of the H-1B visas? So unemployment is a problem. Let's first acknowledge that is a problem. Find solutions. There is enough space for it. And as a government, it's my prime responsibility to find a solution for it. So that's exactly what we are trying to do. See, we are not trying to say we are giving 2 crore jobs. I don't want to make political statements. But the point is, if you're not even going to acknowledge the problem and look for to solve the problem, then what can people expect from us? You are saying, for a lot of people criticize saying that these 5 guarantees that we do, that we give out is a revdi or it is a burden on the exchequer. Unfortunately, when they do it, it's master stroke. Only when we do it, it's a revdi or a freebie. But look at it from the economic standpoint of what is happening in the last 5-6 years. Post-COVID, like you mentioned, people have taken loans. It's becoming increasingly difficult for people to run their kitchens. The household income has fallen. The consumer price index, you know what is happening. You know the rupee is tumbled. You know, only in January, $9 billion FDI has been taken back. So our economy is in shambles. We need to acknowledge that first and get remedial thing. If you're going to say, no, everything is fine, everything is hunky-dory, and we are living in Amrit Kal, that is not right. You need to figure this out. So when we give these 5 guarantees to our people, what are they saving? 2,000 rupees the women are getting monthly. Their bus rides are free, which is put them back in the labor workforce. Then your current is free. The Yuvanidhi is again adding value. Your Anna Bhagya, which is again adding value. What are they doing with the money that they are saving? Anybody by default saves close to around 8,000 rupees a month. If the lady is smart enough, or the household is smart enough, they save up to 12 to 14,000 a month. Where is this money going? It's going to pay the EMIs that they borrowed during Corona. It is going for better nutrition. It is going for tuition fees of their children. People are traveling better. Where are they going? They are going to temples only. And when they go to the temple, they don't go empty-handed. No, they go take flowers, they take coconuts, they take that agarbatti and go. Local economy is being stimulated. Households' economy is being stabilized through this. People are, kids who were out of school are now back in school.
And in any case, if they get jobs and if L&T chairman Subramanian has a way, then they have to work for God knows how many hours.
No, this is unfair.
And then
no, this is unfair.
Mr. Murthy also wants them to
why
work
blame only
endlessly.
Mr. No.
So from the government end, what is your view? How many hours you are making your employees?
No, Mr. Satwa, this is unfair, you know. You just can't blame those 2 gentlemen. Even the Prime Minister said he worked 18 hours a day. So how come he's not being pulled up for that?
So we also in our profession endlessly work.
As of now, I'm sure Mr. Bansi Kalap also will agree with me. By default, you're working 12 hours a day. Especially when you have deadlines. I'm sure over here, everybody is working more than 12 hours a day by default. This is besides travel time. And even when you're at home, you're logging in from home. So the thing is, of course, there is a ethical labor code that is in force, and companies are free to choose. I mean, it's an individual. If I want to work 10 hours a day and hustle for 4 hours on stock market, that's left up to me.
Bansi, you have the last question. We are time is...
There is just one question.
Yeah.
Karnataka has long complained that all the big investments from Karnataka are going away whether it be semiconductors, whether it be a massive project to make EV cars, and they primarily blame one state for it. So your quick take on that.
Well, again, like I said, let's not make political statements here, but it is a fact that people are being arm twisted to go to Gujarat. I know 2 semiconductor companies that were supposed to come to Tamil Nadu. Because they also wanted to, they were choosing between the 2 of us, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. But they were arm twisted to go to Gujarat. One of them went to Assam. One of them went to some other place. Now, I have no issues with corporates or industries themselves choosing to go to Tripura or Haryana or anywhere. That is their wish. If they think the ecosystem is good enough, it is their money, it is their investment, they are free to decide what they want. But when you come and talk to states and negotiate with them across the table and you send a proposal in writing to the central government that, look, my option are 1, 2 and 3. You give them a 4th option. And miraculously the 4th option is chosen. And the 4th option that is chosen has no ecosystem. Now, I'll give you an example of Micron, or the one that is coming up in Gujarat. If my memory serves me right, it's a 26,000 crore or some odd project. Half of it is being funded by central government. The other half of the thing is coming, half of that is coming from the state government, and the other half is coming from the company itself. It's like running a PSU. 80%, 85% of it is being funded by governments. And how much job are you creating? Not even 2,000, 3,000 jobs. And if I say anything, they'll say it's political. Now, 3 options diye, bhai, chautha kahan se aa gaya? Where are they coming up?
Well, it's all about competition, as you said. And
I'd
it's
love
going
to compete. I would love to compete.
And it is going to part of India.
Put me there,
Okay.
put me out
It is
there.
not going
I
off
am
to
telling
Vietnam.
you, only if it is competition, I am sure the southern states will do better. If it's only about competition, I will, please mark my words, whether it is in human resource, whether it's in policies, whether it is in conducive business environment, we are the ones who are leading the thing. And taxes speak for it. Forget anything else. Taxes speak for it. Combine Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra, and Karnataka and Kerala versus entire North India. Entire North India.
So they also need, they are landlocked part, they also need support.
Absolutely. Federal structure, I am not debating that. Let us share with our brothers who are brothers and sisters in different states, but not at the cost of our own thing, right? So I'm not saying, how much does Karnataka get? If we contribute 100 rupees, I am getting hardly 12 rupees. I am saying I don't want 100 rupees. Give me at least 30 rupees. For what? I will build better infrastructure, I will create more jobs, and who's going to come here? From UP, BR only they're going to come here, no? From Madhya Pradesh only they're going to come, no?
From my state also, Bengal also, people are coming.
You're here, no? So you're only here, so that arrest my case.
South for a long time, so I also wanted to ask, because there are a lot of students here, one last question. What is your quick answer on the UGC amendment? If you have a view on that. Quick, and then we will call.
I don't know if you know that I also, in the other hat I don, I'm the Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Minister, and I run a university, Mahatma Gandhi Rural University, where the governor was the chancellor. So I got in an amendment so that state government gets more control. See, if UGC really wants to do what it wants to, or the central government wants to do what it wants to, let it start funding state universities, no? When the kids don't get hostel food, they don't go and sit in front of the governor or the front of the president or front of the prime minister. They go in front of the higher education minister. You are neither supporting us in any form, but you want to take away all our powers. For what? How is it helping? I really want to understand, by bringing in this new UGC guidelines, how is it helping create a Vikshit Bharat? How is it bringing in the Amrit Kal? I don't know. It's been 10 years of Make in India, Skill India. Show me any data that shows it's gone up.
As you only said, it will take some 30 years. So we are in the works, as they say. Okay, we'll call. Is there any questions? But it is already, I can see Prabhu is already very looking at me and saying I'm overshot time. Is there any quick question? Any question anybody wants to ask? Is there a question?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you are lucky.
I'm sure there'll be many
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Thank you
but,
so much
guess
for your
we are
We have
patience.
overshot time.
Totally
Thank you
short
very
of
much
time.
for coming. Really, thank you.
Thank you so
sir.
much.
If
We
I
also
may-
wish to thank Mr. Shruti Karge, who's here, who's very graciously agreed to come to our event. Would you like to come here, ma'am? Okay.
If I may call upon Mr. Prabhu Chawla to extend our heartfelt thanks to the Honorable Minister. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. We've answered a lot of questions, and of course, a lot of questions also shared on this very stage, ladies and
Nobody
gentlemen.
has asked the question I am going to ask. Very short question. Good governance depends on political stability. In your state government, every day there is a change. To talk about change in the government. Chief Minister government or not. How stable is your government?
We are 140 of us, close to 140 of us, extremely stable that I can come and attend ThinkEdu.
You have come because every day why they are talking about change in the government?
I don't know, maybe New Indian Express should stop covering those people.
Stop covering those people. Okay.
That message is not coming from the CM, that message is not coming from the DCM, that message is not coming from the AICC president, none of them.
There is no change in leadership.
Absolutely
not
not.
going to happen.
Absolutely not. Thank you.
On that wonderful note, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our speaker. If I may request Mr. Prabhu Chawla to felicitate him and extend our heartfelt thanks. As we do that, let me also take the opportunity to let you know that we have currently crossed 3.4 million views on our Daily Hunt platform. Ladies and gentlemen, so to all our virtual attendees, a very special thanks and glad to see that you are enjoying the platform as well.